Right. All right. All right. Yep. Okay. That's exactly what happened. That is annoying. All right. Mic check. Mic check. Hey, hey, Pat, can you say something real quick?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start over because apparently I don't know how to stream properly. All right. So thank you, Iman. That's why I'm literally always thanking the people that support us. Again, since we're starting over, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. T Pals, thank you for the support. Pat, thank you for the support. Darkwing Deck, aka. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back over it. Thanks, Iman. I really appreciate it, bro. Um, Shout out to Jose. I think he's Screamer in Discord. Shout out to obviously I can't even really shout out all the big three, but I can shout out Bert. We tested a lot. Smallwood kicks my butt, but you know how it is. Uh, John, always pleasure. But let's go ahead and start over because my bad. Uh, so as I was saying, went to Gen Con. I won Gen Con 2022. I haven't changed my deck at all. I actually maxed out the promos, but I decided to keep it the way it is. Honestly, it's not because I'm lazy and haven't unpacked since Gen Con. Uh,
No, this is a director's cut. You're showing people exactly what your opponent saw,
exactly. You guys see exactly what everyone saw when they were sitting across from me.
which is Carol playing the blues.
Carol, just stop it. Stop it. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, in the first, I'll go over. I'll do a tournament recap later. But first round, I got bodied. I'm not even gonna lie. But so yeah, let's go over it again. Carol, you pay a blue, you get 3+1+1 counters. Needs 5 experience to level. Her level 2 pays a blue. She gets 6+1+1 counters. Fighting range on both. 6 health. Um, Went over the equipments. So I had 12 equipments in my deck because Dormammu is a thing. I played Dormammu. If I didn't have the extra greens in my deck, I would have lost. He got me down to literally 5 cards left in my deck, and he had 2 blues face up. So I would
Nice.
have lost that deck. I would have lost that game 100%. Um, these are obvious. Greens are obvious. I'm sorry, the blues are obvious. Greens are going for a couple other things in the deck, which I will get to again. uh,
Mhm.
50 states. 50 states is obvious because Carol only needs one person on the field to activate it. In the field, there weren't a lot of one drops that you could actually play in the format. Definitely weren't a lot of two drops that you could play in the format. So for me, since my curve was very low, as you can see, I actually was able to activate 50 states on turn one, whether I went first or second. So it was always great to have that. Uh, and for some odd reason, they came in bunches. I never had 150 states. It was always 150 states and then another 50 states and then possibly a third. Never actually had just one. I don't know why. They like to stick together. Whatever the case may be.
Super demoralizing to be on the other end of that.
It really is, right? I think against somebody online, I did like 450 states in a row, and then they were like, "Well, how many cards do you have in your hand?" I was like, "My deck."
I think it was Mitch, and he was like, "Normally it's me doing this." I was like, "Yep."
That's very
Mitch,
true. Mitch likes to
Mitch is
draw
good
his
at
entire deck before he wins.
having.
Good guy though. Love playing against him,
Oh,
except for
for
when he
sure.
draws his deck. Uh, Mine makes right. Mine makes right. You pay a green. You put 4+1+1 counters on a supporting character. Your main has to pay the green, obviously, so your main has to be face up to do it. Um, I'm running a symbiote package, so my make right is kind of obvious, right? Because they keep their counters even after they get stunned. Normally, when you get stunned, you lose all your counters, but the symbiotes are like, "Nah, we here to stay, bro." And stay down. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. I was just laughing.
No, it's true though. Like, come on. You're gonna look at like, say, Riot, who's a 5/5 turn one, and he's gonna climb, so he's actually a 6/6 on turn one. Like, what? I would be upset, but he's bigger than your main. But anyway, stay down. Stay down was obvious. There wasn't a lot of lethal in the format, and every supporting character had to have 2 health, so they're gonna stay around. They're gonna get stunned. They're gonna pop back up. They're gonna stay around. Um, Stay Down was an obvious choice, as well as any lethal you can get into your deck. We'll go over that in a minute. Hella was the main target for Stay Down, and so was Ego. Those two characters on the photo side are probably the most influential in any game. Hella can turn a tide immediately, and Ego says stun your main for free, like every time. Um,
Yeah.
Symbiote Codex. Symbiote Codex was actually for Miss Marvel. It was rarely for my symbiotes. Miss Marvel doesn't want to lose her counters when she gets stunned. She never wants to lose her counters. So Symbiote Codex allowed her to take her counters with her face down. If I had two in my hand, she wasn't getting stunned. That was actually really fun. Who did I do that against? I forgot who I did that against. But yeah, they were not happy. They looked really sad as they scooped from left to right. I mean, like how it's very demoralizing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if it happened against me, I would be really upset, and I would like you have two symbiote codexes, and you're gonna spend it to save a wound. I get it, but fuck you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a feel bad moment for your opponent. It's a huge momentum swing.
Absolutely. Spider Carnage. Spider Carnage was a big ass bluff in the deck. He was there to actually activate symbiote codex if I needed it. There was literally no reds in the deck, as you can see. There's there's no reds. No reds for
People
him anyway.
people kept waiting on those reds, and they just weren't showing up.
They weren't, and they weren't going to. That was the funny part. Like when he was on the field, people were like, "Oh my god, big ass target. Let me hit him." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hit him and not my main. Good job.
Yeah,
Next one drop is Riot. Riot rarely did work in the tournament. He did work like once, but he's another activator for Symbiote Codex. So if you think about it, if I have a blue in my hand, Riot's not climbing turn one. He's probably not going to climb turn two if I have another blue, and he's definitely not going to climb turn. Well, he'll probably climb turn three. That's the earliest he'll climb. And he was just sitting in the back being a 1-1. He was a great guy though. Good. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up so much, Riot. I think I had him turn one every single game in a tournament.
yeah.
Bravo for clocking in.
I
Uh,
think a couple people I think a couple people were confused about that and why you weren't climbing sometimes with him. And I think it's because climb is a main phase and Carol's is a build phase, so she's got to pay her blue, and then there's no location for him to climb when it hits the main phase.
exactly. And you know what? If I can climb a face down location, that would be great. But then he would be broken, right? Because he just comes out and automatically is a 2-2. Yeah, no. Um, Riot is an absolute auto include though. Like if I switch the deck up, I still would do 4 Riots and 3 Spider Carnage because Riot, in my opinion, is better than Spider Carnage in the long run. Moving on. Turn two, we have Lasher. Lasher is the only 2 drop I ran. It's the only one that actually made the cut. Only one that showed up to work. Pretty much every game except for like a lot in top, which was sad because I needed her in top. But you know what? She showed up in Swiss, and that's what matters.
It's true.
It is true, right? Once you get to top, like you're already there. Like you have money once you get to top. Like, it is what it is. Agony. Oh my god! If I had to choose a uh, a second MVP for this deck, it was definitely Agony. Turn three, I absolutely have a my mix right. I absolutely have a fortress. So that means she comes down as a 7/7 and then smacks your main, no matter who your main is. I guarantee you, she smacked your main, and she becomes a 9/9. That's a 9/9 drop that's just gonna keep growing because at the end of the day, like I said, everybody has multiple health. So your 2 drop shitter that's on the field is going to get smacked by Agony. She's going to eat her and get more counters. Your 3 drop that you just dropped down, that's probably like a 4-2 or whatever. I see you, Wakanda and everybody. So gonna smack it again, eat more counters. Like she's just eating to the point where at one game I had her at 15-15 and she can stun DP by herself like that. Like that's ridiculous. Love her though. Who else we got? We got Venom. Venom is the tech in the deck. He is one of 3 techs in the deck. He's great for going against Miss Marvel. He's great paired against with Praetor, who is actually the MVP in the deck. Um, and also he's a team attacker because we're running a symbiote package. That's also what a lot of people didn't understand. I was able to team attack every single turn after turn one. So that means that each lower supporting character basically became a plot twist for the next one up,
Mhm.
except on turn four. Turn four was wild. Like turn four is when this game started to shift, and that's when Massacre come down, and I can get rid of whoever's on the field, or I recruit the number one MVP of this deck, which is Praetor. So for those that don't know what Praetor does, right? Praetor says when an evil character appears on your side of the field, put two +1/+1 counters on it, and it becomes good until they leave play. Do you know how good that is in a symbiote deck? It's a free 2/2 in a symbiote deck.
Yeah.
Like
The
it's
the the importance can't be overstated.
absolutely. And on top of that, like she's basically a free We Are Venom, right? So she comes down. If it's a mirror match, I put Venom down after that on turn four because the important part is getting Carol's counters off. So bounce her counters, she gets two off of that, and then if they still have more, I still have Might Make Right, give them four more counters, bounce four more off of her. Now she was level two, she's officially a 6/6, and I can smack into her. If it was a true mirror match and they had Codex two, doesn't matter because you're still less than me. You're not going to get over me, unless you pay another blue. Then it's possible. That'd actually be rude. Like now that I think about it, that interaction would be really rude. And I would probably sit across from my opponent and I was like, "You net deck my deck, and then you do this to me."
Oh yeah, it would hurt.
It would hurt. It would hurt my pride more than anything else. So, moving
Mhm.
on. Turn five is Red Gob. So Red Gob is a lot better than I originally thought he was. I thought he was basically a 7/4, uh, whatever. And then in my testing, the fact that I'm already on green lets me know that he's a free stun and he fights. He has flight and range, which is outstanding in this format. Not a lot of
Mhm.
characters that have flight, not a lot of characters that have range. And he's basically two stuns if I have a green. Outstanding.
He's very cost effective. He does a lot for the cost.
He's one of those guys, especially if he's coming down after Praetor, then he's a 9/6. And then you actually have to really think about how you're going to stun him, especially if he's behind Captain Marvel. Um, there were times that him and Captain Marvel had the same attack, and I'm just like, that's not fair. Like, it's really not fair. You put a Might Make Rights on him, and he's like, he's yeah. Let's not talk about that because that happened in like two games during Swiss, and I remember man, who was it? I was sitting across from somebody. I recruited Red Gob after Praetor, and then I Might Makes Right at him, and I put him in the front, and they couldn't stun him.
Thanks.
That was great. It was great for me, not for my opponent, obviously.
Yeah, they didn't appreciate it.
So the way I was thinking in this deck, by turn six, your guys are already on life support. This is a format where every MC had to have six or more health. There's not a lot of MCs that have seven health. There's definitely not a lot of MCs that have more than that. So by turn six, you're on life support because I'm planning on stunning every turn. So Redshift just comes out and he makes sure that you cannot play a plot twist to get out of it. So that turned off what the Nova Corps, Last Ones, Friend from Work, uh,
Glad
Power
to see me.
Cosmic. Oh, sorry, what did you say?
Glad to see me.
Yeah, you couldn't see me.
No, yeah, glad to see me. The villain plot twist from photo.
Oh my god, that plot twist is so annoying. Like +3
Mm.
+3 off the jump is just annoying. But then you want to play it on an MC who's probably already Diesel for that's bull.
Yeah, it's a good plot.
Turned off a
No,
lot of stuff that would have stopped my last stun with Carol.
yeah.
Turned off pretty much everything Photo could do at that point as well, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, again, like I said, turn seven was Morloon, and strictly because when he comes in, he dazes a character. There's no other text on this card. I don't care what you say. There's no other text on this card other than when he comes into play, stun a character. I mean, daze a character. That's it. If you tell me, oh, but
Well,
Spider
He's
Friends
also
character.
immortal. He's immortal. If he gets killed, he goes back to your deck, which is cool. It probably is not going to necessarily come up, but you're right. You're never going to give a blue to him
Never gonna
ever.
give a blue to him ever, especially not in this deck where your main can literally get six +1/+1 counters for the same blue you're trying to give to him.
It's a
And
stupid investment.
yeah, and on top of that, there nobody's gonna play Spider Friends. I'm so sorry, nobody's playing Spider Friends. It doesn't matter.
A single tear rolls down Roland's cheek.
Oh, sorry, Roland, but it's true. Nobody's playing Spider Friends. And again, we continue with the tech. We went with Storm instead of Jean. A lot of times, if they can, they'll get a lot of flyers in the front. Herbie, Danger, uh, with that Night Watch, like a bunch of little 2-drop shitters that are in the front. That is like, damn, I have to get through all these guys before I can get the last one in your main. Nah, Storm just says stop it. Storm.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah, Storm just says, "Do you know what happens?" Wait, what was it? Oh yeah, do you know what happens when a toe gets struck by lightning? Ha!
Oh god, yeah, yeah. Best line of the movie.
It really was, and that doesn't say much because that movie was hot garbage, but I loved it. I can't say the name because copyright infringement. You know how it is. Um,
Yeah, it's a horrific line, and an otherwise pretty enjoyable movie.
right.
Storm is the big bad wolf. She blows the opposition all to the back row, and then you do what you need to.
And it's also great that her trigger is on a pier, right? Because I can do it. I choose your formation for your next step too, which is actually really important because even if you steal her or you KO her or you do something weird to her, her trigger is still there. So I still get to control your formation and I still say no, only your main's in front, everybody else gets to the back. That's perfect for me. So yeah, this was my deck. It's extremely straightforward. All the highly important stuff is four of or three of. Um, Honestly, if I was to remake this deck, I'd probably take out Morloon. I put an extra Praetor, maybe even an extra Redshift. Redshift is actually extremely important. He was more important than I initially thought he was. Morloon did. I don't think I recruited him at all the entire tournament. He definitely showed up. He showed up to work. He was in my hand. Didn't recruit him. There was no reason to. Hi.
Yeah, it was generally better to throw down your symbiotes, get your board wide, and by that time, like you didn't really need the days. You were just stunning them and then getting to the back row.
Exactly. And he has flight, which is great. Maybe there is a situation where he would actually help me win a game, but in all honesty, the days didn't really matter. On turn 7, it was a better play to play Agony and Lasher together because Agony comes down, she's going to be a 5/5. Lasher comes down, she's going to be a 4/4/5 on attack. So that means that's 9 attack. That more than likely is going to get over whatever the hell I'm trying to get to. So,
Yeah,
um, another thing I probably would do uh, is run another and stay down, only because it's like it's one of those things where when you need it, you absolutely need it, and when you don't have it when you need it, you're like, crap. If I only ran one more, the probability of me having it in my hand is extremely ideal.
yeah. It's a pretty clutch plot twist. It's almost like another attack.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, the reason I would definitely stick with Storm because of the simple fact that like this format is a fighting format. I know First Evil was really high in the format, and First Evil fades a lot of wounds. But at the end of the day, there were the alt wins that are in this format still kind of force you to fight, except for Dormammu. Um, I actually feel like Dormammu was on like he shouldn't have been photo. If that Dormammu was illustrated, it would be the best deck in the format.
Hmm.
Like I think hands down, because you put the Doom package in Dormammu, and it's a wrap, right? Like you're never gonna hit him. He's gonna get his yellows, and he's just gonna deck you out and then KO you. Like that's just what it is. If he was an illustrated, he
Yeah.
would be the top deck in the format, in my opinion.
No, he would be very easy to draw his whole deck, yellows every turn, control you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. um, what I would say is completely null and void in this deck as well. I'm actually looking. I don't think like obviously Spider Carnage is, but you need him in the deck to activate your codex. Like you absolutely need him. Even in later games, if it's turn 4 and you know Miss Marvel is going to get stunned, I can recruit one of the three drops, or I can recruit just Spider Carnage and Lasher. Like I'm sorry, not Spider. Yeah, Spider Carnage and Lasher. Like he got me out of not having Riot when I needed Symbiote Codex. That's literally why he's in the deck. I would not up him to 4. Literally only be 3 because that's all you need. You got 4 Riots. He's the more important one.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, mm,
he grows and Spider Carnage doesn't.
yeah, exactly. But shout out to Jose. Jose actually gave me the idea for Praetor. Like literally gifted to me. Like I was packed, suitcase was about to roll down the stairs and go into the car. Phone chime, notification. Oh, let's check it. Phew. Jose, what about Praetor? God damn it! I gotta go repack.
No, yeah. Jose Barrios is a great player. He obviously, has rocked regionals before. He did great at Gen Con. Shout out to him. He was really helpful with the testing.
Absolutely, great guy too. And unfortunately, I had to kick his ass in top 8. But it is what it is, right? Like, but
No,
he's
dude, this is a it's a really well constructed deck. You obviously did your reps and you won. Congrats to you.
thank you, appreciate it. Funny enough, just like the OKC tournament when John said that his winning deck was a meme, this deck was a joke. I'm not even gonna lie. Shout out to Vern. No disrespect to Vern. I put this deck together to face to go against Vern on stream because I was like, I'm not gonna take Carol. No way I'm gonna take Carol to Gen Con. I have a better deck. And then it just ran so well.
Yeah,
It was very smooth, very easy to pilot. It's I feel like it was the Ryu of the format, right? Like you can just pick it up and play and do well, but to master it, you got to put the reps in.
yeah, I agree.
So yeah,
Um,
that
No, I agree. It's people think they can pick it up and play it. You gotta do the math. You gotta do the reps if you wanna play it well. Ash, I gotta run. Thank you for involving me in this. I
oh of
really
course.
appreciate it as always. Shout out to Team Let's Get Dangerous.
Woo woo.
And then yeah, man. Congrats again.
Oh yeah, thank you. Go ahead, man. Thank you for chiming in. I really appreciate it. Always appreciate your help.
No, my pleasure. I'll talk to you later.
All right. So yeah, guys, this is the deck. In all honesty, it's very solid the way it is. I know that there's a another regional coming up in Seattle. I would tell people expect to see Carol. It's a strong ass deck. There was a lot of Carols at Gen Con. Expect to see counter hate. It's gonna come up in the format now. Now that everybody knows that Carol is on top of the hill. Um, but in all honesty, play what you want. Play your deck. Get the reps in. Be the best whatever. If you want to play Doom, be the best Doom in a room. You want to play First Evil, be the best First Evil in a room. You want to play Galactus, just be better than Apex because they're gonna play Galactus. Shout out to Apex, yo. They had a real strong showing at Gen Con, and they gave a lot of people the business. In fact, I lost to one of them in the first round. He bodied me. It was actually really bad. He bodied the hell out of me. Shout out to the whole team. They got like 30 people on their team. They keep trying to say it's 8, but it's really 30. So yeah, I am willing to test with people if they're going to Seattle. I unfortunately will not be going to Seattle. I have the deck together. I'm not going to take it apart until I leave for my cruise. Hit me up if you want to test. If you have any questions or if you want a theory craft, always up for that. Again, shout out to T Pals. Thanks for the support. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here doing a stream. Uh, excuse me. Let's get dangerous. That's my versus team. Consists of Pat and one other person that's MIA for the past couple of formats. Shout out to Hector. Um, and just shout out to everybody who's been playing this game. I took a break for a couple of years, but I started when it came back. I'm back in it now. There's a lot of people that are coming back. because they're starting to get a lot of new stuff. They're starting to get some really good IPs. And if you haven't seen it, this is what the Gen Con mat looks like. This is the mat that we got just for entering Gen Con. This is it right here, baby. Oh, God. It's so sexy. You see that? Uh, all right. With that, I'll say my piece. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. I will stop milking this world champion thing probably in a week. I gotta get another weekend. I did a lot of reps. There was a lot of sleepless nights. My girlfriend Sarah, shout out to Sarah, she was upset at me a lot of times. So I'm gonna rock this for one more week. Congratulations to everybody that made it out to Gen Con, everybody that made money, everybody that came out and just had a really good time. And I'll see you guys on the flip. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. I'll be back to streaming matches soon, probably by the end of the week. But hey, again, like I said again, thank you guys, everybody that came out, supported, that is reaching out to me, saying congratulations. I really appreciate it, and yeah, hope to see you guys at the next tournament. Not Seattle, but the next one.